Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're doing a foundation wear test. This one's the Yves Saint Laurent 25-hour foundation. It's got a lot of really great claims, so I just want to see if it lives up to them. So if you want to see how it performs, come along with me and we shall find out. So the lady in the shop told me not to use a silicone-based primer with this product, which is interesting because I watched Tati's review and she used the YSL blurring one and that is silicone-based and she loved it. So I don't really know about that, but so I'll do half non-silicone on one side and I'll do the normal primers that I would ordinarily use on the other side, which would be a mixture of the Professional on the T-zone and Hourglass Mineral Veil, sort of around the perimeter. But on the non-silicone based side, the best I can do is the Napoleon Purtis? I actually don't know how to say that. Napoleon Autopilot Pre-Foundation Skin Primer. So we're about to see if the primers react differently. So I'm just going in with my Professional on this side of my face. This is my right side, your left side. And for those of you who don't know, I'm an oily in the T-zone skin type, so combination, really quite oily through the T-zone, next to nothing lasts on me unless I absolutely pack the powder on. If I want my makeup to last for like an event, I have to press powder all over my face. So that's my skin type. And we're in winter here in Australia, so there is a bit of dryness going on. I have exfoliated and I did a sheet mask today, so my skin should be in as good a nick as it's gonna get, other than the few tiny little red spots. They look much redder on camera than they're actually only tiny. Okay, so taking some of the Autopilot on the other side. And the Mineral Veil for the rest of this side. Okay, I've had some technical difficulties, but we will persevere and hope that this all works out. So I'm just going to take the foundation now. I've got a little sample pot of it. It's actually not released in Australia yet, coming in the next couple of weeks. So I've given my pot a shake, and due to my technical issues, the primer's had a nice amount of time to sink into the skin. So now I'm just going to go in and do as I usually do, which is put the foundation on with a concealer brush and then blend it out with my Yves Long, the powder brush. Smells nice, smells really fresh. To date, I haven't liked a single Yves Saint Laurent foundation, so this is a good test. If I like this one, that'll be nice. It's weird that I've tried just about all of their foundations and I haven't found a single one that's worked on my skin. On me, they just don't look good. So I'm going to do the other side and then I'm going to build up the coverage a bit. It hasn't done anything weird with the silicone-based primer that I can see yet. It didn't like split on contact. So we'll keep going. It's just a little more like looks a hell of a lot nicer on my skin now than it did when she tried it on me yesterday in Maya. So I'd say that it is kind of important to have your skin hydrated and exfoliated before you give this a go, because I can tell you right now, when she put it on me yesterday, it looked hideous. It clung to every dry spot and accentuated everything that you do not want accentuated. Like, it was not a good look. So at the moment, it's looking really nice. So I'm going to build up the coverage a little bit. This is the shade B20 and it's looking pretty nice. I am super fair at the moment, so it's kind of hard to get a decent match with my skin tone because I am yellow based but very fair. In a pinch, you could almost skip the concealer. I'm not going to, of course, but you almost could. Okay, so that's about as much as I'm going to put on right now. I think that's enough. That's just all foundation there. I haven't put anything else on yet, so just the foundation and the primer. It's sitting really beautifully. It built on top of each other fine, but I wouldn't want to faff around with it too much because I feel like the more I moved it around, the more it was going to cling to spots. So yeah, I think you kind of want to get the amount of coverage you want first go with this, or soon after. As far as it being a matte foundation, I don't see that at all. Like, to me, it looks like skin. It's still quite dewy, it's still quite shiny, and I know from wearing it yesterday that it didn't set at all. Like, it didn't dry down. It was really tacky to the touch the whole time that I had it on. So it's a very skin-like foundation. It does give a lot of coverage, so for me, it's a really nice amount of coverage. Like, I don't really need super full coverage. I don't have a lot of acne breakouts or really bad pigmentation, so I'm not sure if you did have that, how well it would cover those spots, But as you can see on me, you know, I barely even need concealer now. Of course I'm gonna put concealer on, but I don't really need it. But, you know, these little red spots here, they weren't that big a deal. And well, it's covered these ones, but that is still minutely red. Okay, so my thoughts so far are today, I really like it. It's sitting beautifully on the skin. It's looking really nice. It's gone really well over my pores. It's not exaggerating my pores at all. If anything, I think my pores are looking great, especially considering only half of my face has got the pore minimizing primer on it. The other half is just free flowing. So yeah, it's not settled into any fine lines. It's not clinging in any dry patches, and overall, it's looking pretty mint at the minute. I'll zoom you in so you can see close for yourself. You can see around the nose there, it's not clinging in any of those dry patches, which is a major area for me. You can also see my pores nice and clear there. Enjoy that. So that's that little red spot. It's not totally covered. But on the skin, it's looking beautiful. Like, it really just does look like skin, but it has made it look really beautiful. And see that shine there? It's definitely not matte. So now I'm going to put on the rest of my makeup and I'll come back. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the rest of my makeup, and I've been wearing it for probably a couple of hours now because I did do a tutorial. So I'll zoom in and let you see how it all sat on top of that foundation and how it's looking right now. So you can see it's still looking pretty nice. It hasn't started doing anything funky yet. I still think it's not covering these breakouts as much as I would like it to, but otherwise it's looking really nice. It's definitely quite luminous, like you can see that on camera too. It's quite luminous because obviously I set, you know, here with powder and it's still sort of looking like healthy. So I don't know how this is a matte foundation. Because I've set it with powder, it's feeling dry to the touch now, which is nice. What you want. Yeah, so far so good. I think it's looking really beautiful at the moment, and I'm off to ballroom dancing, so I'm going to put it through its paces and we'll be able to see in a fair few hours and a hell of a lot of sweat later how it really wears. So I will be back. I just forgot to tell you that I did do a flash photography test on this foundation, and although this is a terrible photo, there doesn't appear to be any flashback. So that's good. Okay, so I am home from dance. It is 11:30. I am completely exhausted and about to go to bed. So this is the check-in for the foundation. You want to know what it's like? Alright. Well, as far as its claims go, it's obviously not 24-hour wear for an oily skinned person. I can't really say for anyone else, but for me, this is not a flawless 24-hour wear, and I mean, it's probably been on for about 7 to 8 hours, so it's not particularly wowing me in a long wear field. It's meant to have special oil blocking particles in it, and as you can see by my face, the oil is not blocked. It's meant to be transfer proof, which for the most part of my cheeks, like, yes, but I'm gonna go to bed now so I can show you like where it's oily. No, but hang on a second. Wow, that's interesting. I literally just patted the oil away. It's pretty cool. Like, it's not interesting. By demonstration of the fact that I just patted all that oil away, you can see that I was quite oily, and it's broken down in the areas where I was oily, and it's come off in some areas and it's slightly cakey here. So it's not a flawless long wearing foundation on my skin type, and I would imagine that anyone with an oily skin type or combination skin type is going to say the same thing. And where I ran into problems yesterday when they tried it on, where it really clung to my dry patches, I actually think that anyone with super dry skin might have a problem with this too. If you have dry patches, like, it doesn't seem to sit well on them. So yeah, I think you can kind of debunk 24-hour wear. I don't know about that. Oil blocking particles, don't know about that. Beautiful finish, I do know about that. Still a really nice foundation. So I just thought I'd mention those things that aren't necessarily living up to their claims. Let me zoom you in so you can see for yourself. as you can see, it's holding up reasonably well. It still looks really nice on my cheeks, which is basically what I find with every foundation I ever try. They last really well on my cheeks where I don't get oily, obviously, and then in the oily areas of my face, they tend to break down. So this foundation isn't really any different in that aspect. You can see I'm quite shiny through here, and on the close-up of my forehead, you could definitely see that it's starting to break down a little bit in the middle here. I feel like it's definitely breaking down on my chin, like it's worn off on spots on my chin. It still looks really even though, so unless you're up really close, you can't really see any of that. So it actually still looks pretty decent, especially considering I have been, yet again, ballroom dancing. So that's a really good way to test your foundation, ballroom dancing. So the things that are impressing me at the moment, there's two things. One is that I was wearing my glasses and I was able to actually just pat the glasser mark pretty much away, which is amazing. It doesn't even look that bad where my glasses were, so that's really cool. And then the other thing that's impressing me is normally in the folds of my nose is like a killer place for it to go cakey and break away and look gross, and it's actually not doing that. It's not doing that at all at the moment, and yet it's going sort of cakey just in this area here, which is so weird because that is not something that normally happens. I don't normally go cakey here. So I'm not really sure what the deal with that is, but I'm definitely enjoying it. I'd certainly wear it again. I think it's holding up really pretty well, and all of the products that I put on top have held up really well. So, you know, my bronzer and my blush and highlight and everything is still definitely there. So all in all, I do enjoy it. I'm going to wear it again tomorrow night, so I will update the description bar down below with, you know, how it wore for a second time. But my final thoughts for this video are that it is a very beautiful finish. It's a particularly beautiful finish. I do not know why they call it matte, because it's not matte. I think that it's got a really nice luminosity to it, and even though I'm very oily in the T-zone, it hasn't gone like an oil slick on me any more than a normal foundation would. So I'm not at all disappointed by that, and I still feel like it looks really nice. If you have normal skin, I think, well, you're really lucky anyway, because probably all foundations look amazing on you, but if you have normal skin and say like this area was what your entire face was like, then I imagine that this foundation would look beautiful on you, because in this area here, like it's still dry to the touch, it's not broken down at all, it looks pretty much the same as it did when I first applied it. So in this area here, we've had the usual casualty to oil. That's just life, isn't it? Would I purchase this for $58 US, which I'm guessing, so it's going to be like around, maybe around like 80 bucks Australian, I imagine. Would I purchase it? Not sure. I'm going to see how it wears again tomorrow before I would be able to commit to that, because it is a very expensive foundation, but it's definitely hands down the best Yves Saint Laurent one that I've tried, and I can say that like by a New York mile, because this one actually looks nice on my skin. So that's a win. Anyway, as you can hear on my voice, I'm super croaky and it's definitely bedtime for me. So thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you are interested in this foundation, if you're buying it, trying it, whatever, let me know. I'd definitely like to hear your thoughts on it. And otherwise, I hope that you're all having a great day, week, night, whatever it is where you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Hormonal breakouts. Oh boy. Pull yourself together, lassie.